So, Coach, for you, it's year 2. Obviously, you were on the bench next to Jay for 5 years, but any bit of a difference going to this year? Any lessons you may have learned?
You know what? It's just it's all about patience and playing with great confidence and let the game take care of itself. Worry about the game. Worry about within the game and what happens in the game. You can't worry about the final score. You can't worry about winning and losing. You can't worry about who you have, and who's healthy and who's not healthy. We just got to go with who we have and play as hard as we can, play BU basketball. And I'm just trying to let the process take care of itself. And that's what I did last year. I'm just trying to go in with great confidence, and hopefully we are.
Yeah, and the entire season you've been preaching defense and rebounding, and with your first round of in UNH, that's like their bread and butter. That's what they do well. So how much more important do your team's defense and your team's rebounding become in a game like this?
Even more so. You're right. Even more so. I mean, Billy Hurrian's a great coach. What he's done this year with that team has been pretty amazing. After losing 2 top guys, and they defend, they rebound, they're tough, they're physical. They get to more 50-50 balls than any team I've ever seen, and that's because of him. And I've known him since I was a player myself. He was at Drexel, I was at Philly U. So I mean, he's a great coach, and they're going to play really hard. And somehow we have to play harder. Somehow we have to dig deeper and play harder and play smarter. And all we have to do is win it by 1.
Looking at UNH, they have 2 pretty talented seniors in Tyrone Conley and Dane DeLegro. How do you game plan for those guys? And I know you never want to say that you're going to focus on one or the other, but is one player maybe a bit more of a focus heading into this game?
We got to play 5 guys against the ball, and that's the way we play. And that's the way UNH plays. I mean, there's no denying we play very similar styles as far as our defense, and our emphasis is on defensive rebounds. So Conley's terrific. I mean, he had 26 against us up there. He was a leader. He drilled shots. He got to loose balls. He rebounded. He was amazing. And for Dane, it was his first game back after being suspended, and he gave them pretty good minutes. He wasn't looking to score. He was looking to drop dimes. So again, we got to play 5 guys against the ball. Everybody's got to do their job, and we got to limit our mistakes and take care of the basketball, because when they get out and run, they can really be okay.
Will you look to run a bit more to see what you can do against them?
Well, again, they're very good at their transition defense. They do a really good job. So we're going to keep playing the way we've been playing. And if we have opportunities to push the ball, we're going to push it. And if we have to play half court a little bit, we can do that now too. I'm very comfortable in our half court sets. I think these guys have really started to share the basketball a lot more, even though our assists don't say that. I really see extra passes, some really good screen assists. We're putting in the post more. We're getting in the paint a little bit more. So it's good. We're really starting to mix it up.
Coach, in baseball, they talk about saving the pitcher for the next round. John Howland, the pitcher, how much do you save him possibly for Sunday on Saturday?
Well, that's still to be determined. I'm going to see how he does today, if he goes at all. Still to be determined. And Friday he's better, then he's going to play Saturday. And I'm not that way. It's the American East. You get one chance, and we got to lay it all on the line. If he can play, he's playing. And if he's going to play, it's going to be from 34 to 36 minutes. And that's John Hall. And I think he's like he's a senior, and he's been here before, and he's got to show these younger guys what it's like to be in a tournament like this.
Looking at the younger guys, do you maybe take them a little bit differently this week as opposed to last year, where you had so many veteran guys?
You know what's unique about our younger guys? They've all played in championship games. They've all played in state championship type games. So I feel like they've got a great understanding of what this tournament's about. I was really proud of the way they handled themselves at them. They didn't put their head down. They didn't shrug. They didn't say, "Oh, I'm getting fouled" or anything like that. And the crowd, I thought the crowd at Vermont was great. It's the best crowd in the league. And I thought our guys really responded and didn't get intimidated. And that's why you do the non-conference that you do. That's why you go to Kentucky. That's why you go down to Villanova. That's why, we play Harvard every year, but that was crazy this year too. So it's good. We need to do that, but I think our guys are ready.
Sorry, Tristan. Do you feel that the Vermont game was kind of a coming of age moment for guys like DJ, for kind of your younger, more inexperienced guys?
I wouldn't say coming of age. I would just say they're getting better. They're starting to understand. They're no longer freshmen. It's March. You're sophomores now. I know it's an old coach's cliche, but it's the truth. They all know our defensive rotations now. They all know our sets pretty well now. They all know they got to play hard and defend and rebound. And they all know about attitude and attitude club and all game goals. So I think they have a better understanding today than they did a couple months ago. And that's why we keep tapping at the stone, because early on, we struggled. But I just knew at some point we were going to turn this thing around. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen at all this year. And it finally did, thankfully, after the UNH game and going into February.
Was that rock bottom?
I think rock bottom is a deeper place, or deep, much dark, sinister place. I mean, we lost a basketball game, We don't have the craziness in our locker room. We don't have, we got good kids. We got good character guys that go to class. So I've seen rock bottom. It's ugly. It's an ugly thing. So I wouldn't say that was rock bottom. I think there's a deeper place.
Winning on the road was tough for you guys early on in the season. And the last 2 road games seemed pretty daunting going into them, but 2 victories have to have you guys feeling pretty good about playing on the road.
Yeah, that's for sure. We were not a very good road team early on, and that's a young team, and that's a couple newcomers, everybody get to know each other a little bit. I do like the road. I like going on the road because it's just you and your team. And you get that meeting and hang out. That's where you really bond. But that Stony Brook game is definitely a turning point, along with the main game at home. Stony Brook, we finally got a win on the road. And I think it gave them some confidence. And we lost a lot of games by 1 possession, by a couple points here and there. And I'll play on that. I got to do a better job of closing out games. And I got to put these guys in the right position to be successful at the end of games. And I think we all learned a little bit about ourselves. And that's why we did a pretty good job on 2 seniors.
With Jake out and John potentially not playing as many minutes, or if at all, how much more does a guy like Matt or a guy like Pat mean to you guys with their experience and the fact that they're not necessarily guys who always have to carry the load?
And they're our captains, so they mean even more. They're our leaders. They're the guys that are getting these guys ready to stretch right now. They're the guys before the game that are getting these younger guys ready to go, motivating them. I mean, they're huge. And the minutes that Matt and Pat have been giving us have been terrific as far as doing the little things. And they're giving us points. But they're also rebounding. Pat gets blocked shots. Chris, being a lockdown defender, he's getting some rebounds. I mean, he had 7 and 8 rebounds in 2 games this year, which is pretty amazing for a 5'10" point. So they mean a lot to our team right now. In more ways than you can ever imagine.
Coach, you said after the Vermont game that you wish it was still January as far as getting this team to gel together. Not quite at that point, so you were hoping for some more time. But talk about whether you think that fact in your mind opens up this team for a possibility going into a game with a lot attached to it. Opens up this team for a possibility of a disappointment or some issues there. Talk about some issues that might arise.
No doubt. With a young team, you never know. The American East is wide open. UMBC beat us, Hartford beat us, UNH beat us. Anybody can beat us. But that's across the league. Anybody can win this weekend. Anybody. It's just who's hot, who's having a good game, who's making shots. I mean, if you're making shots, everything's pretty. The game's a little bit easier. But who's going to grind it out and win it by 1? Who's going to hang in there when adversity and there's challenges and obstacles? I'd like to think we're ready for that. I'd like to think we're prepared for that. But you never know. And if for whatever reason, if it's over on Saturday, I'm really proud of this group. I'm really proud of this team for what they did this year. I mean, there's definitely been a unique season of grinding with younger kids, 1 senior, and 3 newcomers. And with all the injuries that we had all year, I would say this was a successful year. But I don't even want to think, not even think about that. I want to go into Saturday with a clear head, great confidence, and go get them. Thanks, guys.